Twilight Zone Tuesday. We are on Season 1, Episode 18, called The Last Flight. We open in the sky in 1917. Lieutenant Decker is flying somewhere from France, but he is lost, and Rod Serling tells us that he is about to discover that he can get lost in time. He ends up landing on an American Air Force base, and he's looking around going, I had no idea you guys were so advanced. And they're looking at his plane, asking him why he's flying this antique. So Major Wilson takes him to see the man in charge. I don't really know military titles. Major General. He takes him to see Major General George, and everything that he's saying just isn't making sense to them. Major Wilson asks him what the date is and is smart enough to ask him what year he thinks it is. Decker says it's March 5th, 1917, and they tell him that it's actually March 5th, 1959. So it took him one day to fly 42 years. And he mentions that he flew through a cloud and couldn't hear his engine. I think an even bigger plot twist is George tells them that Captain Mackay is on his way to the base for an inspection, and Decker says that that is impossible because Captain Mackay is dead. Decker is locked in a room, and Wilson comes in to ask him questions about this cloud that he supposedly flew through. Wilson gets mad and throws his cigarette on the floor, which he's only taken one hit of. He throws it on the floor when there's actually an empty ashtray on the table. Decker ends up explaining that he's nervous about seeing Captain Mackay because they were fighting German planes, and Decker actually took off so he could survive and just left him. And then he ends up kind of having this realization oh my god, what if I'm the one that saves him? That's my purpose for coming here. And if I don't go back and save him, he will not be coming here on this day in the future, if that makes sense. Also, men always think they have to be the hero. Decker ends up fighting Wilson and a guard, gets to his plane, and as he's going to take off, Wilson threatens to him if he leaves, and Decker says, I would rather die than not help, so Wilson lets him take off. Cut to Captain Mackay shows up. They ask him if he knows Decker. He says, that guy saved my life. He tells them they were fighting off enemy planes, and he disappeared for a little while, came back, saved him, and then ended up getting killed by the enemy planes. The end. This doesn't really impact the story, but I thought that it was kind of funny. So when Deckard is telling them that he flew through a cloud, he says that he flew through a white cloud, and then at the end Wilson asks Captain Mackay, after he was like, oh, he disappeared for a while in a cloud, he's like, was it a white one? And it made me laugh because it's they're normally white unless they're a storm cloud. What color do you think it's gonna be? So I don't love time travel. I don't love military war, any of that. So this one wasn't super interesting to me. It was a little bit funny at times, and I don't even think it was supposed to be. The writer said that the title, The Last Flight, has to do with Decker's actual last flight, and then also his departure from being a coward, which is something that he struggled with during the episode. I don't have much information besides that because I don't care to look into military planes, Air Force bases, planes. Yeah, so that's all the extra info I have for you. If you have any fun facts or behind the scenes that I did not mention of this episode, please put it in the comments. Make sure to follow me for more episodes on the Twilight Zone because we all love the Twilight Zone.